What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Tonight we have a very nice episode with Jeremy and I. We're going to be talking about revenge, resentments, forgiveness, and whatever else comes up.
Yep.
I'm Dallas Terrell.
I'm Jeremy Miller.
We are the Betterment Bros. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. As we said up top, we got a nice little episode for you guys. We're in the studio.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Jerem's here.
Yep.
We're all here.
Yeah, we're here.
Roll call is completed.
Roll call, check.
Check. Check. Check. So, yeah, man, we got a cool little episode tonight. We got the cozy studio.
Yeah, cozy stew, dude. We're 6 feet apart. Don't you guys worry. We're both very healthy, and we're taking all the necessary precautions.
Yeah, we really are.
And, I got tested for COVID, Dal.
Did you really? Tell me all about it, dude.
Well,
Did you get that thing up your schnoz?
Dude, I've been in discomfort before.
Yeah.
Okay, long story short, dude, I've had things put places. Medically.
Medical places.
Medically,
I know, I have it on video.
What?
Of you. This is when I wish we had fucking video. But I have on video you talking about something
yes.
cucumber size.
Yeah, dude. I got Crohn's, guys. Okay, they go in looking around. Long story short. I've been in uncomfortable situations medically. Okay, nothing compared to this COVID test, bro.
That big old stick that touches your brain.
It's a stick like this long, right? And and they're like, okay, tilt your head back, and just so you know, it's totally gonna suck. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude. You should have seen what they brought out last time. You know what I mean?
Thing was way thinner.
Yeah, dude, this thing, I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, all right, bring it on. You know?
Yeah.
But dude,
it's just my nose.
Yeah. So she's like, all right, tilt your head back, And I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm in the car, dude.
Yeah.
And she's outside the car, because COVID.
Yeah,
right?
That's how they do it, I guess.
It's like a drive-by fucking nose prodding,
nose
dude.
punch. That sounds like a sick job, dude.
Dude, that sounds like a punk rock band.
Yeah, I would love to temporarily do that to people.
Dude, I would love to see drive-by nose punch in concert. Okay, anyway, dude. So I tilt my head, right? And this lady, dude, she shoved this swab. Like I felt it going up, and I'm like, yeah, that's weird. And it went further,
Boom.
and I'm like, okay, that sucks. And then it went further than that, bro.
Did your eyes start watering?
Oh, dude, my eyes were watering, and I was like, like coughing, dude.
Like you couldn't breathe?
Yeah, and then when they pulled it out, I was like, and I thought like a bunch of boogers were going to come out. Sorry for the TMI.
Yeah.
And then it felt like my nose was bleeding.
Shit.
But it wasn't bleeding. Yeah, it was super weird,
dude.
Yeah. So anyways.
All that just to find out you don't have the flu.
And I went to urgent care for completely unrelated symptoms, right? And they're like, yeah, but it sounds like COVID. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm definitely not sick.
Yeah.
Like I have no fever. I got no cough. I got no sore throat. I got none of the stuff on the CDC and everybody posting on Twitter. I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
All right, that's not what I'm here for today.
Like I fucking felt like I was sideways, okay?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
and they still prodded my nose, bro.
I'm sorry you had to go through that, dude.
But anyway, that's a long way of saying
what's up?
That we're here in the studio.
Super long way of saying, we're glad you guys are here.
Yeah, super long way of saying welcome to the show.
Yeah, here we are.
We're the Betterment Bros.
And we do a couple things on the show.
Yeah, we're talking about gratitude, down.
We talk about gratitude. We do a 2-minute takeaway every freaking episode because we just want to get the tone nice and right.
Yeah.
So.
It's like throwing butter in the skillet, dude.
It is.
Before you make a steak.
You just gotta, we call that pan lube.
Pan lube, dude.
Pan lube.
All right, Dal.
Weird term.
Let's lube the pan, bro.
Lube the pan,
you want to
dude.
go first? Or you want me to go first?
Let's lube it with some grat, dude.
Okay. Grat lube, dude.
Oh, man, dude. So my 2-minute takeaway from this week, dude, if I had to hone in on one. Yeah. Okay. So this is what it's going to be. So I'm reading that book. Anyways, I'm reading this book, Dark Side of the Light Chasers. One of the exercises is observing your judgments for a whole week.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, talk about a difficult task.
It's hard.
And this is a task that I've assigned to other people. This is a task that I've done maybe for like a day.
Yeah.
But this task also has like a different caveat, right? Where it's like, don't just be aware of your judgments, but see why you're having them.
Be curious.
And be curious about your judgments. And also find how that person or thing that you're judging directly correlates to you.
Yeah, dude.
Like what makes you, what are you tied to, or why is there a connection? If there's a connection, it wouldn't be so upsetting, but something you're connected to, that's why it's charged. That's why it's bothering you.
Yep.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
So just like digging deep on those, you know, and seeing like these, snap judgments or these knee-jerk judgments that I'm having against people or cars or things or concepts or whatever.
Yep.
And then trying to look deeper than that and seeing what's there. And my takeaway about it all is that what I'm seeing is like totally different than what you surface level feel. Like surfacely, I'm like, you know, like degrading people or like, and this makes you sound terrible, but it's the truth. We all have judgments, you know,
For sure.
and judge people for what they wear or do or say or
yeah.
act.
Yep.
But when I'm looking, dude, what I'm seeing is like, for example, there was something happened where, you know, I'm not going to get into the specifics, but I was like upset with someone or what they did. I was upset for something, right? And what it really came down to was like loss. Totally different. Way deeper than that. Was like, I don't want to lose them, or I didn't want to miss out on future cool things or anything, something like that, right? But it showed itself as like anger.
Yeah.
It showed itself as like indifference.
Yeah.
When really it was just kind of like mourning.
Interesting.
So it's just weird to see what's on the other side of it.
Yeah.
If you just give yourself a chance to look.
For sure.
And it's weird, the smallest shit, dude. The smallest shit. You're like, well, I have to look now because that's the assignment. And then you're just like, you know, like, I guess I just wanted grilled cheese. You know, like the result is so bizarre, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. I just have a lot of gratitude for being able to investigate me.
Yeah.
And seeing what what is really there.
I love that. I love that you're reading that book, dude.
Yeah, it's great, man.
Yeah, I love that.
It's super great. Also, kind of a funny thing that happened too. One of the exercises, like drawing like your shadow self. And I have a friend that's reading the book with me too. And she was like, yeah, so I'm like in my office, you know, like drawing my shadow self. And this dude like barges in, and I like put my book away real quick and like was like hiding my drawing of like me at my worst, you know?
Interesting.
And she was like, yeah, I mean, it was a terrible drawing. I'm a terrible artist that tried to draw me at my worst. So you can only imagine what was on that notepad, you know?
How dark it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also metaphorically, it's what we do with our shadow habitually anyways.
Yeah.
We don't want people to see. We shove it away,
hide
dude.
it. Yeah.
Tuck that thing away.
So it's kind of ironic. You
and
know? Don't look at the shadow.
multi-layered right there.
Dude.
I love that.
Thanks for catching that.
Yeah.
So what about you, man? You got some gratitude for the week, your life, or
Yeah, you
anything
know I
like
do.
that?
You know I do, dude.
Throw some pan lube in there, dude.
Yeah, I got lube. Yeah, so check this out, bro. I was on the radio last night.
Ooh.
Yeah, 101.5 FM down in San Diego.
San Diego.
Yeah, my good friend Gina Tabrizi, she's been a therapist in clinical roles, managing big treatment teams. I mean, she is like, when you look at therapists,
she's what you should see.
she's like LeBron. You know what I mean?
Yes, good reference.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan is more trending right now.
See, MJ, like greatest of all time. I don't, you know, that's like, there's a lot of freaking therapists, bro.
That's true.
But she's
an all-star.
She's an all-star, dude.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And, you know, she hit me up and said, hey, you know, you've been kind of blowing me away lately. I'd love to have you on the radio. I say, yeah, sure, whatever, you know. And anyways, I felt really good about, you know, sometimes there's things I do a lot of public stuff.
Right.
And a lot of times I'm like, that wasn't very genuine, or I didn't do that good, or blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
But last night, I went in completely nerve-free. No nerves.
Because you knew her, you think?
No, I started, about 2 hours before I started getting the nerves.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did to accept them was acknowledge the fact that literally all I have to do is show up and answer questions authentically and not try and be anything.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've always had a hard time with because, we all have egos.
We all have a role to play.
Yeah, and I
last
think
week.
Yeah, and we all have roles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, if I'm on stage with a mic, like I've got to be a certain way.
Right.
And that's what creates the anxiety.
Yeah.
That's what creates the nerve.
Of course.
Is trying to force yourself out of being who you already are, which is easy and natural. And so last night I was really focused on one thing and one thing only, and that was speaking from the present moment. I'm not thinking about who's watching. I'm not thinking about who's listening. I'm not thinking about what they're thinking. I'm not thinking about what I'm going to say. They'd ask me a question, and I would just answer from the deepest, truest place of myself. And afterwards, I felt like it was the best interview I'd ever done.
Dude.
And so and I recorded it, and I'm going to try and put it on our feed.
That's what I was just about to say. Yeah, let's plug that for the audience.
Yeah, but I think their audio is super quiet, and mine's going to sound kind of loud. I'm going to try and bring theirs up, but it might be a kind of a bunk recording, but you can get the idea. So I'll put that on the main feed if you guys want to check it out. And that's my gratitude.
If you want to hear Jeremy at what he thinks is his best version of him, it's recorded. Yeah, and not even if you want to hear me being authentically me in a situation where I would previously I would put on a mask. I would try and fill a role. Dude, there we go. I haven't even listened to it. Wow. But Mariah walked by at one point and she was like, "Damn, you sound good." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude." You put on the proud boyfriend role immediately? Yeah, dude. Immediately, dude. I put on my big tough guy role, I'm like, yeah, that's right, I am, dude. I got my... Keep talking like that. I got my mic, dude, like, all I need is one mic. Oh, is that a song? All I need is one mic? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, dude, let's get into the topic of the night. Topic, dude. So the topic, our friends, is... the situation, I would say, is not as relevant as the message or the topic behind it. Well said. So, and the reason I say that is because, honestly, I don't want to bore the audience with the details. Right. Because when we read the details, a lot of things came up, and it'd be too spotty or shoddy to talk about those details. But the message that was in there is a cool little topic about how to be less vengeful, or when revenge is important, or how to forgive, what the right thing to do is. And all of that's extremely subjective, and you need a bunch of data to figure out the specifics of if it is worth it or not worth it. So me and Jeremy figured we just kind of have a conversation on revenge, resentment, forgiveness, and kind of what role that plays in us, life, how to deal with it, how to move forward. Yeah. And if I could... Do's and don'ts, kind of, right? Yeah. And I think, for a little more backstory for the audience, this person that wrote us, we've known for a long time. And we've been in a lot of dialogue with them. And so we felt like if we shared the exact email that we got, it would do a disservice to the person that wrote it. Because, if we just read it the way it was, I feel like it wouldn't, we know this person. We know the tone that it was written in, and we kind of agreed that it wouldn't translate well to the audience who does not know this person. So what we're going to do instead... Or his background. Or his background. Yeah. So we're going to kind of sum it all up by saying that... Excuse me. We're going to sum it up by saying that this person is in a situation where they feel wronged. And, there were a few things in there that are of note, like, I've taken responsibility. I know it takes two to tango,
right? There's these little kind of paradoxical statements, and that's what we want to explore. We want to explore what it looks like when you feel you've been wronged and what to do with those emotions when you have them. Like feeling that like they wronged me. I'm resentful. I'm vengeful. I want revenge. I want to get back. They're wrong. I'm right. Right. That kind of situation. Audience, let me get a show of hands if that has ever happened to you. My hands up. Dal's hands up. Oh yeah. So that's what we're going to kind of dive into. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it sounds exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm absolutely on board with that, as you know.
Yeah. So I think.
Where should we start, dude? Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, so let's just kind of, and this obviously is going to be a little bit more broad because we're not sharing the exact situation, but I wanted to start with looking at what resentments are made of.
Cool.
And if we can dissect a resentment, perhaps then we can explore what to do with them.
Gotcha.
Right? So...
Okay. Let's talk resentment.
Yeah, so I feel like in my experience in life over the last, however many years working in this field especially, we're meeting people at their quote unquote worst.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people will accept that they're in that position or situation because of themselves, but a lot of people can't or don't.
Right.
They don't, rather. And for me, I know that resentments played a big part of my addicted life. Even after I got sober and those first 6 or 7 years of recovery, I was still really developing mentally and emotionally, and I struggled big time with resentment. Like I remember something happened one time and I didn't talk to this dude ever again.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, I'll just give you the story. This guy asked my girlfriend at the time to borrow her car. And I fucking flew off the handle about it. And I know why now, but at the time it was like, dude, you can't just borrow her car. Like, how are we going to get home? Like, how are we going to go do our stuff? Like, that's so disrespectful because she's going to say yes. Last time you brought it back, it was a mess. The list goes on, right? So he and we had this falling out because I flipped out, right? And we barely spoke after that. And then 3 years ago, he OD'd and died.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and it was left lingering in the air like that.
Jeez.
And we were close up until that.
Until that kind of initial instance.
Yeah.
And it never got resolved, huh?
Never did.
Wow.
And so, anyways, when I think about my resentment, when I think about what it is to feel like someone has wronged me, it's really important to dissect that. Let's put it under a microscope, okay? And the first question I have is, who did they really wrong? Right?
Yeah, of course.
Me, my essential me, who I really am, cannot be harmed. The ego, that voice in my head, can absolutely be harmed. And so a lot of times, especially when we talk about narrative, narrative is often in third person. You suck. You're an idiot. You're not worthy. That voice is saying you. So that voice is separate from the you that it's talking to. And that you that voice is talking to is your authentic self. That's who you really are. The voice that's saying you, that's ego, right? So if somebody wrongs me, I take it personally. I feel like it defies who I am as a being, right? Because I identify with my ego. I identify with my thoughts. I am my thoughts. If I think that Trump is the best thing that's ever happened to America, that's who I am. I embody that.
Right.
And if you come along and disagree, you disagree with who I am fundamentally as a human being. And that right there is exactly why people can't talk politics without getting fucking pissed off.
Yeah.
And it's the silliest thing on the planet because guess what? It really doesn't matter, right? If you sever the disconnection between you and your thoughts, you recognize that these thoughts are just an accumulation of the life you've had and the events that have happened in it, right? And while some of them are genuinely authentic authentically who you are, not all of them are.
Right.
But when you identify with all of it, you can't tell. So when I think about a resentment, right, to kind of tie it back here, I'm mad at this person for asking to borrow my girlfriend's car. That's the silliest thing I've ever heard, right? It's like what was really upset was my ego. My ego saying, look at what you've done to me. Look at what I can't do now. Look at all this me.
Look what you've taken from me.
Yeah, right? But the reality is that who I really am went on living just fine, even though he was in my girlfriend's car somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so I think what's important with resentment like that, my action item, if there was one, would be you feel yourself resentful. You see your thoughts of resentment. You notice, like, I'm fucking pissed at that guy. I'm so mad at that. They should not have done that. Okay, watch those thoughts. Watch them and pay attention to them. Observe them, and that's it. That's all you got to do. Who is observing those thoughts is you. The thoughts that you see is ego.
Mm-hmm.
If you can separate the two, if you can see that happening, you've automatically severed the connection, the identification of you being your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first step towards peace. And it's hard. And it's not like, oh yeah, just do that and you're free of ego.
You don't do it once.
No, but it's like after reading Debbie Ford, right, and the Dark Side of the Light Chasers, it was crazy the judgments I had.
Of course.
And resentment and judgment are really two sides of the same coin.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that by recognizing how often and how much we have these things, and then questioning them and observing them and seeing like all that's happening, like we're watching a movie, right? You are watching the movie, but you're not the movie. And simply by observing and recognizing that that's what's taking place automatically lifts a little bit of that pressure.
I love it.
That'd be my first action item. Potentially my only one.
That's why I'm laughing, because usually, we're like, we kind of talk a little surface, little to-dos, don't forget to tie your shoes,
Right.
and then we'll talk about like the ego and like your narrative,
Yeah.
We just went straight for the throat, dude. And I like that. We
Straight
ain't
for
got
the
time
throat,
to waste,
dude. Yeah.
We're talking resentments, we're talking anger, we're talking revenge, we're talking some deep-seated shit.
Right.
CrossFit's not the one for this, Like, it's like
Self-care.
Yeah, dude, painting your nails isn't gonna like make you less resentful.
No.
I think if I was to kind of poke on something or to highlight something that's been effective for me, or if it's been effective for clients, or that I've found just effective in general. And this is kind of a little bit different because it's not like working through like if you are or are not resentful. It's kind of like when you are.
Sure.
It's like matter of fact, like your dad beat you when you were a kid for so long, and you've never been able to forgive him for hurting you, essentially.
Yeah.
So if anyone in our audience resonates with that, or can, identify something like that along their lines in their life, I think the best advice I could give is to talk about it with somebody else. But then if you can and have the opportunity to safely express it to the person too, and at least just vocalize it. And oftentimes by the time you get to that point, you've been able to kind of process on your own what really happened, And my example is a little bit different from yours, because the example I gave was like physical, actual harm, not as subjective, of like, did they hurt my ego? Or it's kind of like, no, like they hurt your body, you know? So that's a little bit different, but it's just as common, I feel like. And, that's kind of what I like to suggest, is first being able to talk about it with someone, maybe certified to do that with you, who won't just kind of take your side. Yeah. Like, hey, that was wrong, and just kind of agree that was wrong.
Right.
But more of like, how do we move forward? How do you suffer less type of thing? And I've always found just putting it out there to be helpful, because usually we just kind of stuff it, and we resent people, and we don't ever talk about why we resent them. And when I have a resentment with somebody, I try to just squash it right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I know what I know and have
Right.
experience of, working through that shit.
Yep. Living it.
So the way I work through it is just by doing it sooner,
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not letting it build, not letting it cultivate inside you. If someone harms you, dude, communicate that effectively.
Yeah.
Right? Regardless of like, hey man, like you did this hurt my feelings, or this is what happened and I didn't really like it. And
Mm-hmm.
I still love you. I just wanted you to know like that didn't feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a great way to just not have to carry resentments and baggage as much
Right.
as, we used to.
Right.
Granted, when you're a child, when you're younger, you don't have those tools, you don't have those skills, but
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine most of our audience is adults and
Mm-hmm.
are fully capable of doing something like this, regardless of how bad it would hurt or feel
Yeah.
or how scary it would be.
Right.
So my caveat, if that is you and you need help with something like that and you need to be shepherded or walked through how to work through a tough situation, a tough resentment, hit us up.
Yeah.
That's our gig. We would love to help you with that.
Yeah. And I think what I love about that is the processing of it,
Yeah.
right? It's like, one thing I really encourage people not to do is complain to people that are habitually complaining.
Right.
Right. So I like going to people, because when I think about it, like the only thing that really exists is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I can't, and that is the way that you can control your past. Right. So it's like for people that have experienced trauma, whatever the trauma was, the first step, right, is acknowledging the fact that you may not be in control of what happened, but you're 100% in control with what you do moving forward.
Right.
And choosing resentment is a choice, and that this is a tight line that I'm walking on right now.
Send it.
I'm trying to be delicate because trauma's a real fucking thing, man. We've all had it. Everybody in varying degrees. If I go to somebody, right, upset at what my boss said, and I go to this person over here that I know will just fly off the handle as soon as I tell him what my boss did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh man, do you know what my boss did today? This fucking asshole. He fucking made me fucking file these papers. He did what? Fuck that butt, right? Like that energy does absolutely nothing. What does it create when somebody automatically goes into agreement with your disagreement?
Nothing.
It creates nothing but more of that terrible, terrible energy that you get to walk around with.
Yeah.
And that has a toll on your body. It has a toll on your mind, right? What I prefer and what I recommend is going to the person and you can say, dude, my fucking boss fucking made me file some papers today. And they go, oh, well, what are you feeling? What's that like? What happened? And you just talk, you talk and you talk. And someone just sits there and lets you talk. They just let you experience whatever you're experiencing. And that's it. You call it a day. And that's why I feel like with people like you mentioned, Dal, going to someone who's certified or at least on the up and up, at least tapped into that knowing of like, it's not healthy to just automatically go into agreement with someone's disagreement because that's comfortable.
Yeah. There's no solution there.
It's hard to challenge somebody when they're pissed about something.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to be like, well, did he make you file papers because it's your job to file papers? Right? Like, can we be real? That usually doesn't do well, right? Because people want to feel right. And as soon as we can acknowledge that feeling right isn't as important as feeling heard,
mm-hmm.
You'll acknowledge the importance of getting an audience that knows the value of just being heard and not needing to be right, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. That makes total sense. Yeah, you need someone that has no skin in the game, someone that's just there to see what's going on.
See what's up.
And help you maybe see things you didn't already see.
Right.
So when someone's resentful or angry or whatever, like they're almost certain.
Right.
It's hard. It's a very fine line, like you were saying, to
yeah.
just say that. Like, wasn't it your job to do that?
Yeah.
So why are you upset?
Right.
Because then they feel attacked and
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, and that's something that I've been working on a lot, dude. The last couple of months, big time, dude, is like addressing my resentment.
Right.
And it ties right back into your takeaway, dude, from Debbie Ford's book.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm so fucking mad at this person, it's because I see something in them that I believe exists in me.
Yeah, and maybe you don't like it.
And what is that?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the important questions.
Yeah.
I am so mad at my boss for making me do this. I'm so mad at this fucking girl for doing this. Okay, that anger is coming from me. I see myself in that. It's just layered. Take a look at it.
Yeah.
Take a look
And
at
that's
it.
the hard part, because
Yeah.
it hurts to look, or it's like it's not your first instinct to connect the dots to something that's pissing you off.
For sure.
And it takes a big person to do that.
Yeah.
So
And a lot of practice.
a lot of practice.
Yeah.
What I was thinking, dude, is maybe we kind of move towards revenge,
Yeah.
right? And maybe exploring that a little bit. I know I have a couple things I wanted to say about revenge in general.
Take the mic, bro.
Okay, well, so part of the email, right, was like almost like, do I like take action against this person? And is like, I want to, but I don't know if it's right.
Mm-hmm.
Is this right? This is what I feel. I feel I should go out of my way to, whatever, fuck this dude over,
Yeah.
or whatever that may be. And so what it makes me think of is there's a sick Goalcast. You ever follow Goalcast on Facebook?
Mm-mm.
It's like a page on Facebook, and they every day, or not every day, but often they post like a little 5-minute video. You ever seen the video of the Admiral that like talks about making his bed?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like, and they have one way of doing it where, there's like subtitles and it says Goalcast, and there's like this yellow ribbon on it. Anyways, you can find it on Facebook if you want. They have really good videos, by the way,
Nice.
which are pretty cool.
I'll check them out.
But they have one with Terry Crews. Have
Nice.
you seen that one?
Yeah. No.
So Terry Crews, if you know Terry Crews, big jacked actor.
Huge.
Some of the movies he's in, White Chicks is my favorite.
Dude, he is
And he's
so
like doing
funny.
Michelle Branch.
Yes.
Like, making my way downtown. It's like, da-na-na-na-na-na. And I missed. Oh, dude.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
And he's doing this with the tongue.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
he is jacked.
He's huge, bro.
Huge.
So,
And his pecs, dude.
yeah, he does the little titty dance.
Yeah.
He's blowing the whistle
Yeah,
at the
dude.
rave.
Yeah.
He's like high on ecstasy. Dude.
Yeah, dude. Great movie.
Oh, wonderful movie. You haven't watched White Chicks in a long time. Please revisit.
I got to revisit.
I do too. That movie's
Yeah.
fucking awesome. But so Terry Crews, big jack dude, right? Looks like a massive football player. So he's telling this story about his dad and how he whooped his mom's ass. And, his dad used to beat up his mom. And he was a kid. He couldn't do anything about it and always pissed him off. But it inspired him to lift weights so that he could protect his mom. Right? And then it went on for a while. And Terry Crews got massive and jacked and became an actor and was famous. And he, I'm obviously paraphrasing kind of the story, but so if you know how big Terry Crews is, right, he achieved his goal of being able to protect his mom. So he said he came home for something, and he came home with his girlfriend or something. They went out with their friends, and the dad was like at home with the mom, and the dad was like drinking, and he was like, "Dad, I don't want like no funny business. Like when I come home, like just behave, don't touch mom." I guess they've had that conversation before. Like pretty much if you touch mom, I'll kick your ass. And the dad believes him at this point. Terry Crews goes to a bar, gets a phone call from like some other family member. It's like, your dad's drunk, beating up your mom, blah, 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 like knocked her tooth out. Terrible stuff. And so Terry Crews is giving his like walkthrough of like flying back home to the house to just demolish his dad, because that was his goal. Like, if you ever touch mom again, I'm gonna hurt you. And so he gets there and he tells everyone to leave. He's like, "Mom, go home, blah, 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 go home. Kids, go home." And he's like one-on-one with his dad. And he's like, "I told you if you did this again, like this is what was going to happen." And he like beat the shit out of his dad. And he just was like, the coolest part was he said it didn't work.
Right.
He's like, it didn't work. It didn't make me feel any better. And the dad didn't care. Like, he was like, just,
Yep.
whatever, you know? So I think it was the message it paints is like so powerful, where it's like his whole life, he thought if he could just beat up his dad and protect his mom, everything would be fixed. And then he ends the video talking about like love being the opposite of like hate or like revenge, and it's just to fight hate and that with love. And He gives a bunch of other different examples of how like he's kind of targeted because he's so big that people kind of want to poke his buttons and fuck with him. And he just kind of gave some insight on how he just battled all this shit with love. And, you know, he just met people with love and gratitude and just like was bigger than all the revenge. It was bigger than this massive dude that could probably tear you to shreds.
Right.
But he didn't do it because it doesn't work and it doesn't make you feel better about yourself.
Amen.
It's not the solution at all.
That's right.
It's cool. It's cool. So that was kind of what I wanted to say about revenge,
Yeah.
kind of paint that picture a little bit, and they ended it with kind of the solution of how to deal with revenge.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I wholeheartedly agree. I think, you know, and in the email, it was like he was, you know, I'll give a little piece of info here.
Yeah.
It's, you know, he's referring to a doctor that quote unquote did him wrong. Okay. And he wants to like get his license revoked and all this stuff. Okay. So 2 things. A, revenge is never useful. It never, ever, ever is the right thing to do. I firmly believe that.
Right.
Terry Crews' example is perfect at illustrating exactly why. Because if you live life like there's somewhere to get to, you'll never get there. If you live for what's happening right now, and that's it, there's no need to get anywhere. You're already here. Right? So if someday, if I get so big, I can beat my dad up, if I get there, right? Okay, but what happens when you get there and it doesn't work?
Yeah.
If I get even bigger, right? If I put him in the ground, right?
Hit him harder. Yeah.
If, right? If I get there, if I get a little further, if I go a little further, you'll never get there, right? And revenge is just that. It's that if I cause this person the harm they caused me, I will no longer feel that harm. But that's not how harm works. That's not pain, dude.
It's not.
Pain's there no matter what, unless you look in. Being with it, being with you, that's how you handle pain. If you look for the solution outside of yourself, you'll never find it.
Yeah, and that's what he found. That's what he had control over.
Exactly.
It's like, how can I love more?
Right.
How can I be more helpful? How can I
That's right.
be more grateful?
Right.
And that all worked.
Yeah, dude.
Because the solution's with him, not with his dad.
That's right.
And he was like, dude, why did I think that if I fought my dad, why did I think that would feel so good?
Right.
It's like, that was stupid.
And it's not like you can do something that you can't hit Control Z to something that's happened in your past.
You can't. You
Right.
can't.
Like it happened. It's there. It's done.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that there is a very big difference between taking action and seeking revenge. Right now, like there was, you know, I was addicted to Adderall. Adderall was what caused my demise. And the doctor I was getting it from would write me scripts for 2 months supplies every week. I can't imagine that I'm the only one that was getting that much Adderall. I could have been selling it. I could have OD'd. I could have died. I ended up in fucking rehab because of it. Right.
Because of your ability to get so much Adderall.
Yeah,
all the
I
time.
would
It's just
literally get
bountiful amounts.
I was supposed to take one a day.
Yeah.
One a day, right? I would get 120 at a time every week.
Yeah.
And it's a controlled substance,
That's a
right?
lot of drugs just to help you focus.
Yeah, dude. I dimed that motherfucker out.
Yeah.
But
good.
that's not revenge. I didn't dime him out to make myself feel better about my past.
Yeah.
I didn't say I'm going to tear him down the way he tore me down. Absolutely not. That's revenge, right? Taking action was, I am now on the other side of this shit, and I don't want other people to have to go through the same thing. Very big difference there. So I'm not advocating that we just lay down and let shitty things happen. What I am advocating, I think what we're both advocating, is that if you're seeking to pull someone else down, if you're seeking to hurt somebody because they hurt you, the truth is it will not feel better.
Nor will it fix anything.
No, it won't change a thing.
And then you waste all this time not fixing it, thinking that it was going to happen.
Right.
And that's sad, dude.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there's that on revenge.
Fresh take on revenge,
Fresh
dude.
take on revenge.
Good
and,
take on
resentment.
resentments. Yeah.
Should we close it out with forgiveness or what?
I feel like we've hit forgiveness a lot.
I do too.
I feel like, you know.
And I don't think you just close with that.
Right.
It's like, should we close with our life story? Or,
Right. Yeah, I think forgiveness, you know.
Should we close with the journey of forgiveness?
Yeah. That we've covered that, and also this, like, I don't need him to forgive.
Yeah.
The guy that wrote us the email, I don't need him to forgive.
No.
Right. That'll come with it by his own determination.
Very true.
I think that nailing the resentments and the revenge, I think that's good.
Yeah. And kind of, it's almost like there's responsibility in there too, a little
Yeah,
bit.
for sure.
That's kind of the theme, is like being responsible of and accountable to you.
Yeah.
Leaving it out of their hands.
Yep.
What is the right thing to do for your emotions?
Yeah. You are in
Leave him
charge
out of it.
of your well-being.
Yeah.
You're in charge of your emotions. Nobody else is.
No.
And when I tell people that get so mad at Donald Trump or Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders or any of these fuckers.
Anyone else who wants to try and run the country.
Yeah, anytime I tell them, they're like, oh, fucking Donald Trump, oh, fucking Joe Biden. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, so you're mad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, how can you not be? Well, I mean, you're choosing to be mad about it. You don't have to.
They hurt you.
Yeah, and dude, people do not respond well to that.
Yeah, they don't.
But, you know, I mean, I think as more people become aware of, you know, like, dude, people do shit that pisses me off all the time.
Me too. Yeah.
Right. And I think what I try to do, what I'm encouraging by that, is just to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Just to look at it.
That's literally what I've been doing.
Yeah.
It pisses me off because I know that I've done it and it's silly.
Yeah.
And then I want them to do better, but they're not, and it's not in my control.
Right.
But I feel like the curiosity, it's kind of cool we're closing with this too, but like the curiosity of like why we're so judgmental, it makes it just land.
Yeah.
It makes it okay to land and just be what it is.
Right.
Like, oh man, they're making a mistake, like just like I have.
Yeah.
And I'm not like that upset at them anymore over that because I get it.
Because you were there.
It's like the psychology about it, you know?
Yeah.
Like I feel like as being counselors and like helping people and really trying to understand the mind and why people do the things they do, it's so much harder for me to be mad because I'm always like, yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
You know, like,
right.
Like he was a psychopath. I'm like, it makes sense, man. Terrible childhood.
Right.
I would too.
Right.
People are like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you don't hate him? I'm like, no, I feel bad for the guy.
That's right.
That would suck.
That's right. Dude, I want to end on a story. You just reminded me of one of my favorite stories. And it's the perfect...
Do I know this story?
No. And
So, okay.
it's the perfect like closing to everything we're talking about.
Fuck yeah, dude. Let's put it on next episode.
All right, so my boy TJ Woodward.
Boom.
All right, so he tells this story sometimes. Now his mentor, Mary Helen, was a spiritual teacher, and the two of them were at an airport flying out of Dallas, and this was I think like I don't know, early 2000s. And they're sitting there, and there's this mom, and she's got, you know, like a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old young kid, and her kid, and the kid is just fucking like freaking out, crying, losing it, and the mom is frustrated and pissed and yelling at him.
Oh man.
Right, and TJ said like he could see all the judgment.
Yeah.
Parents like taking pictures, parents like looking and giving dirty looks, parents being like, "Hey, calm down," you know, like. And
to the mom,
to
like
the
telling
mom.
the mom to
yeah,
calm down.
because she was fucking losing it, right?
Totally.
And even TJ said that he was having judgments. Like, how could you talk to the child that way? Like, how can you be like that?
Yeah.
And Mary Helen walked over, embraced the mom, and just sat there. And she said, "You're loved.
Wow.
You're loved." Right? Everybody else judging, right? And the mom calmed down, and the kid calmed down. All they needed was to be loved.
Wow.
Right? And when I think about that, I see parents all the time at airports, and I'm fucking judging like crazy, dude.
The non-parent over here just judging.
Judging, dude. Like, you know.
Yeah.
But, dude, what if, you know, this mom was pushed to beyond her max?
Yeah.
What do the judgments add to that? Do they make it better for the mom and the kid, or do they make it worse? And look at what love did instead. If we can all embrace the humanity that we share, the oneness that we are, human beings, then these trivial things like fucking who voted for who, or wear a mask or don't wear a mask, or all this shit, it falls away.
Mm-hmm.
When we can just lead with love and embrace the oneness of humankind.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Not just zero in on like the one difference
Yeah.
between you and somebody else.
Right. And when we can kind of fall away from our opinions a little bit and recognize that there is so much more to us than our opinions,
Of course.
you know, and judgments. Anyways, I thought it was a really cool story.
That is. I like
He
that
tells
a lot,
it
dude.
way better than I do.
Yeah, maybe we'll get him here in person, dude, and just
and tell him,
crack that one off.
Dude, we'll call him from the studio and have
Ask
him
for the
tell that
story.
story.
That would be great. I'm sure he would love to tell it too.
Oh, he's a good storyteller.
He really is.
Yeah, I butchered that
Damn,
story.
I remember listening to him tell a story about like being at a parade when he was like 4.
Oh yeah,
And like that's like not the most exciting story, but it is.
it is, dude. From TJ
Like
Woodward.
I never knew how badly I wanted to know about the time he was at a parade when he was 4 until he told it. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, dude.
Where was this parade at, dude? That sounds like the coolest parade I've ever heard of.
Yeah, what kind of candy was it?
Yeah, dude. Damn, I wish my parents took me to a parade. you
Yeah,
know?
it's all right, Dad. We'll get you to a parade, bro.
All I watched was like the Macy's parade on TV, you know?
Oh, bummer, bro.
Total bummer, dude.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, so.
Well, that being said, you can find us at www.betterment-bros.com. Check out the new revamped website, guys.
Oh, it's slick.
I know they've been looking, dude. Our web traffic is up like 300%, dude. Sick.
Good work, man.
Yeah, man. We got the website going. You find us on the Instagram. We're at Betterment Bros. You can find us on Facebook at the same, but Instagram's better. You know what I mean? I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
when we post it, dual posts.
Yeah,
so you can find it both places.
We do a post, guys.
If you're more
okay?
mature, find us on Facebook.
Yeah, find us anywhere you want. Let's see, what else is that? We got a Patreon, okay?
We got a Patreon.
You want to support the bros? We got some patrons now, bro, which is
do.
super sick. So you can go to patreon.com/bettermentbros if you want to support the show. And also, we're going to release some bonus content that I think you'll probably enjoy.
Oh, they'll love.
Yeah,
They'll love
it,
and
dude.
enjoy.
Yeah, they'll love it. They'll enjoy it. It's going to be awesome. That being said, if you're struggling, you got something going on in your life, you want to shout it at us, you want
to yell at us?
You want to send it to us and have us kind of tackle it on the air, or you want to be on the show, write us, bettermentbros@gmail.com.
Yeah. And like just one thing adding on there too.
Please.
Is if you guys have a topic you want to hear us kind of go after, you
Yeah.
know, one thing I was thinking is you and me don't really debate very often,
True.
which is hard because we see like almost everything eye to eye.
We really do, dude. I'm trying to think of like, what do we even disagree on?
Yeah. And
I
don't
hate
even,
mustard.
You hate mustard, but I'm just like, all right, yeah, be you.
Right.
So it's,
Yeah, fuck. I don't know. Like what?
But I don't know. Maybe there's something the audience would like to see us like converse about, you know? Like that's kind of
Who's the greatest skateboarder of all time?
who's the greatest skateboarder of all time?
The GOAT.
Tony Hawk.
Damn. See, right. Like everybody says Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Of course it's Tony.
No one else has skateboarded that long.
No,
No one
dude.
has proven to be that good that long.
Right.
He landed the 900 when he was like 32 years old.
Yeah, dude. At the X Games, I watched
How
it
old are you?
live. What?
How old are you right now?
I'm 33.
Right. Imagine doing a 900 right now.
I can't even do it off the diving board, bro. I've tried.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
He did it
I'm
on
28 and I'm like, God, these knees are barking.
Dude, and he's still skating.
He's still skating,
He's
dude.
shredding.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought,
Yeah, wow.
I don't know what we could debate on, dude. Like, we both have iPhones, you know, because the iPhone Android debate.
That's a good one.
Um,
Well, first, maybe we'll let the audience decide. But if they don't come to a decision, which happens, sometimes people are indecisive.
yeah, I bet Jerry would know.
Maybe we just like, you know, kind of discuss maybe like our take on something. Like, you know, I think we both have different perspectives on how to help.
Mhm.
Obviously, you can see through the episodes, but maybe we pinpoint something like that. You know,
That's very different.
yeah. Like
I
I know
like it.
here's a big one that we don't need to do right now because the
Mhm.
show's ending. It's almost over. Don't
Yeah.
miss it. It's
Yeah.
almost over. It's ending right now.
Yep.
But before it ends, rehab being a bubble.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that one.
Yeah.
We can get into that why. Like, but that's kind of what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, I don't know.
Coincidentally, I totally agree. You know?
that rehab's not a bubble and
Yeah.
it's really happening and
Yeah.
you're still prepared.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Okay.
We'll find something,
We'll
guys.
find some, dude.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be before the show ends.
That's right. We'll find something.
It'll
Y'all-
fucking never end. you
Hey,
know?
y'all take care out there. We're going to find some that we can have differing opinions on. And if you guys have ideas, kick them to us.
Yeah, dude. Pit us against each other. Why not?
Yeah, fuck it.
No
Dal
one's
will
been
win.
able to do that yet, so.
That's true, dude. No one in the history of our friendship.
We both shart.
Dude, we totally do, man. That's you'll find that on the Patreon. Patreon.com/bettermentbros if you want to hear that in our storytime episodes, guys. That being said, we're signing off. I'm Jeremy Miller.
I'm Dallas Terrell.
See you later.